I'm Maya.
And I'm Cameron.
And we're
the Gossip Girls.
And for our first podcast episode, we're going to be talking about high school, junior high, elementary, and just to where we are right now as 21-year-old women.
Yes, period. So, basically, we're going to be talking about, like, how school is as a Gen Z and, like, our experiences. It's going to be really funny. But before we get into that, we want to tell you a little more about us. So, Maya, give us a fun fact about you, or just tell us what you do.
Okay, so I am a TV news reporter here in town. I fill in as anchor sometimes too. It's a really fun job. I've always wanted to do it ever since I was a little girl. And a fun fact about me is that I have 3 cats, and 2 of them are named after Mamma Mia characters, because that's my favorite movie.
Period. Well, my fun fact, so what I do first is I'm in cosmetology school. I like to do hair. I like to do makeup. And my fun fact is me and my boyfriend have the same name. So Cameron and Cameron. It's spelled the same thing. Like
It gets
same
really
way.
confusing.
Yeah, it does. Basically, how we break it down, though, is he's Cameron and I'm Cam. That's kind of how we...
I call y'all Boy Cameron and Girl Cameron.
That's how everybody else does it, too. But sometimes people do go Cam and Cameron. Period. Okay. Into our discussion. Maya, why don't you tell everybody how we met?
Okay, this is a funny story. So, me and Cameron have been friends. Oh, I just hit the mic. We've been friends for, I want to say, 10 years now. Yeah.
Wait, how do I math that?
Because we were about 10 years old in 4th grade, because we met in 4th grade.
Yes.
So, that was about 10 years ago. We met in 4th grade. We were
actually 11 years. We're 21, not 20.
That's crazy. That is crazy. So, we went to elementary school together. We were never in any of the same classes. We didn't even go to the same school until we were in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And then somehow we were in the hallway. I think I was in the line for the bathroom because, like, in elementary school, they would have bathroom time where everybody in the classroom would just stand in a line and wait to go to the bathroom, supervised. And she just walks by me and she goes, "Hey, you have a stain on your jacket." And I was like, okay. I didn't like her after that. We weren't friends for a while.
So, like, how did we, like, end up liking each other? That's
I don't know.
Like,
okay, I will tell you this. We used to have talent shows in elementary school.
Yes.
And my mom always liked Cameron because Cameron sang Let It Go in the 4th grade talent show. And at the end, when Elsa's like, "Let it go," Cameron grabbed glitter, and you don't know that she has glitter in her hands.
I was standing with the mic like this.
And then she's just like, and it just goes everywhere. And my mom was like, "You need to do that." And I was like, "I don't sing."
I don't sing.
And I think that my mom was just always like, "You need to be friends with her because she's cool."
Yes. We were both kind of losers, though, at the beginning.
We were.
Like, we loved books. She had her Hunger Game phase where she was, like, obsessed with Katniss Everdeen and, like, she'd wear the braids. And, like, actually, we did have one class together in 4th grade, Miss Turner.
Did we?
Yes.
Yes, because Cameron was smarter, so she had to come to our class so that we could get our grade up, like our rating up in our class.
But she would also, me and Maya, we were like such nerds, like we were big readers. So there was this one time, I don't know if you remember this, but Miss Turner both made us go up in front of the class and read something out loud, like take turns. And in that moment, I was just like, okay, she's just like me, period.
And now I read off a prompter.
Yes.
For a living.
Yeah, you really do.
I remember, do you remember this? Okay, we were in class, and we did a writing project to strengthen our writing skills, but it was like a letter. That was our format. We had to write a letter. And we wrote to our favorite celebrity.
Oh my God.
And I wrote to Jennifer Lawrence because I had a Hunger Games obsession.
And she
gave me an autograph
back.
She sent me an autograph back. It's framed in my bedroom.
I wrote to Taylor Swift. Never heard anything back. Thanks for that, Taylor. But weren't we supposed to get, like, we also wrote letters that we were supposed to get in, like, 10, like, not 10 years, but, like, when we made it to high school.
I wasn't in that class.
Well, I never even got
That
my
was
letter.
I can't remember her name. I was in Miss Watson's
Miss
class.
Keys. That was Miss Keys' class that we did
That was 6th grade.
Oh. Well, I'm talking about elementary school in in general.
I wasn't in that class that did that though, so I didn't get to do that.
But I never got that letter either. I wanted to know what
I've heard of people getting those letters back.
I never got mine back.
People. She forgot about you.
She did. she literally forgot about me.
She said, I didn't like her. Sometimes I'm just not going to send her your letter.
Okay, so I had this one teacher I remember in elementary school. I'm not the smartest in math.
I'm not either.
And her son also was in the same grade as us. But I've never disliked a teacher more because I remember her like literally like yelling at me in elementary school because like I just sucked at math that bad. And she was like one of those that would come up to your desk and like hover over you and want you to do like the math problem like in front of her, and it would like stress me out. I'm like, what?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
My brother had her and she did the exact same thing to him.
Yes. So I think that's where all of my school anxiety came from. Like, school's like actually serious. Like we actually have to like try and like do good, and like the fear of failing is like a real thing. So that all started. It was 6th grade.
6th grade. I feel like that's when my anxiety started too.
Yeah.
Honestly, mine started in 5th grade because that's when I started struggling really bad.
Yeah.
That's when my mom got sick because my mom had mold in her lung.
Yeah.
And I guess just none of the teachers understood, like, I'm going through it right now. And that's when that's when my grades started going down. And I never got them back up.
Yeah. And then we transitioned into middle school. Middle school was the craziest experience. It's like the age where like you're learning who you are. Everyone's kind of mean because they don't know who they are yet. You want to be better than everybody else. And
I had a bob.
Yeah, me and Maya were still losers. We were still losers. Still losers.
I had braces. They were green.
Oh my God, I had a gap in my teeth. Okay. And a bob. And I would we had uniforms. So I would try to accessorize, make myself cute. I had those chevron purses, and I try to wear my reading glasses everywhere. I'm not supposed to wear my reading glasses everywhere. I'm supposed to wear them when I'm reading. Okay?
Listen, the uniforms are ugly.
They are ugly. And they're
a yellow polo.
I never wore the yellow ones. I wore the navy ones every day. You couldn't catch me dead in that yellow. Okay?
The navy ones?
Yeah.
No. Wait.
Yeah.
When were we allowed to wear navy?
We wore navy, yellow, white, and black.
I only ever wore the white and yellow. I didn't know we were allowed to wear any other color.
Well, maybe.
No, 8th grade you could wear black
and gray.
Or gray.
Yes. Maybe the navy ones is elementary school.
Navy was elementary school. We could wear red, navy, or white.
Oh, well then I wore white every day because I didn't own a yellow shirt.
I only owned the yellow shirts because we would be frantically school shopping.
Yeah.
A week before because we're just procrastinators. And that was the only option I ever had because nobody would buy the yellow ones.
Yes, the yellow ones are so ugly. So basically, in 7th grade,
where do you even start?
Where do we even start? Academically, also, I wasn't the strongest, but we had the best teacher for English.
I still talk to his wife.
I literally love him.
Yeah.
I remember him to this day. I never had to stress in his class because he really made it easier.
Well, I didn't have him for English.
Really?
I had him only for film class.
Okay. Yeah, he did film class too.
I had I'm not gonna say names. I had the female teacher down the hall. She was one of the best teachers too I'd ever had.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, so I'm still not smart at this time. I always was walking around with the book and just keeping my head down. I think Maya was the same way. I don't know if
we were just not social butterflies.
No, and
Cameron was more so than I was. I will say that.
I tried to be.
I didn't try.
I didn't. You didn't. You literally would only talk to me after school.
That's true.
I don't even think she talked to me at school.
Well, because you were in all honors classes. Here's a fun fact about me. I'm dyslexic, and I didn't find out until I was 18, out of high school, everything. So I was never in honors classes or anything because I could not keep up.
Understandable.
So that's why we just never interacted in school like
yeah.
I think we really wanted to.
Right. Well, because we were such losers.
Perfect word to describe it.
We had, well, not you. I don't know your experience personally with these group of boys, but
I never spoke to them.
Yeah. So I had classes with these group of boys, and I had a crush on one of them.
Wait.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. We literally were just talking about this. I had a crush on one of them. And she knows him. But like, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh.
Anyway,
yeah.
So he made my middle school like experience pretty bad. I got bullied a lot, and the principal at the time, like, her son was involved with my bullying, which that didn't really help my case at all. But because that happened in my middle school years, like, I just felt like I couldn't like completely focus like on like what I needed to do. And then 7th grade year, I tried out for the talent show. Do you remember that? I tried out for the talent show and I didn't make it. Like, I sang and I didn't make it. How embarrassing.
I remember that day because I had mono. And I didn't know I had mono, and I almost passed out.
I was
in the gym.
That was literally.
You passed out? Almost. I didn't know I had mono. I just all of a sudden was just like sweating and about to pass out, and I was like, and I just wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention to any of y'all.
Well, yeah. So like my mental health through like middle school was just not the best because I had a case of bullying, but eventually that did stop when a teacher like took control and like. She really helped me. But, like, I was just so embarrassed because I didn't make cheer my 7th grade year. Then my 7th grade year, I didn't make the talent show. That's embarrassing.
I got cut from the cheer tryouts going into 8th grade year.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I was bullied because I was, like, small and I was kind of ugly. But, like, what am I supposed to do at that point?
I mean, everybody's kind of ugly at that age,
yes.
though.
Exactly. That's what I was. That's what my
That's
mom.
the awkward
at least that's
age
what my
where,
mom
like,
tells me.
It's true, because I think of all these girls that I used to think were gorgeous when we were in 7th and 8th grade, and I look back at pictures and I'm like,
girl.
You're not all that in a bag of chips.
Period. And a bag of chips. But, like, tell me, because you transitioning into high school, I know that was difficult.
That was one of the hardest things I've ever experienced. Like I said, I didn't get diagnosed with dyslexia until I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just hard because I felt stupid all the time. Like, I would have teachers that would yell at me in class. I would have other students be like, you know, like, why aren't you getting it? You know, just not getting the math already. And then just teachers yelling at you all the time, telling you you're just not going to make it into the next grade. You know, like, why are you even in my class? It was hard. I switched to a different school 8th grade year, halfway into 8th grade year. And it was no easier. I thought that it would change everything. I thought the teachers would be better. The teachers were better, but
it was a private school.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the teachers. It was just me and, like, how my brain works. Like, it just wouldn't let me get what all the other kids were understanding. Yeah. And it was hard. I got into, like, a really bad depression.
Yes.
And I ended up just doing homeschool.
Yeah.
And it was the best thing for me.
Yeah.
I could do it at my own pace. And now that I'm in college, I understand things way better.
Right.
Because I also feel like college is at my own pace, because even though I'm taking 4 classes a semester, I'm doing it online.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily in person. I'm making good grades. Like,
right.
I'm not who everybody was chalking me up to be when I was 13 or 14.
Yes.
And I was just trying to figure out how I was going to get to, you know, my goals in life. I always wanted to be a news reporter, and you have to write stories, you have to talk on TV, you have to read, and I never thought I could do it, and now I'm confident and I'm doing it, and I'm a writer. I'm mostly a digital reporter, so I'm reaching my goals now.
Exactly. Period. So my transition, can't speak. Like in high school, I feel like when I got into high school, that's where more people started noticing me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
My freshman year, yeah, like I was still a little weird. Like I really don't think I started like growing up until.
Well, you're also just very immature until you get,
Yeah.
especially girls. Girls, I think people like to say that we mature faster.
Yeah.
I still see girls my age and I'm like, no, you still have a lot more maturing to do,
Right.
but I don't know, once you hit 18, I feel like that's just like a whole different ballpark.
Yeah. So like high school for me, I ended up dropping out of all of the honors classes that I was in. So I just took like regular core classes. But I was also like on the dance team, so I just kind of felt like those classes would be a lot of pressure if I was like on the dance team, because that's a lot of hours like after school you have to put in. And like two, like I honestly like was not that smart. You know, like my mom always said, like, you're so smart. Like, no, like I genuinely did struggle in school, especially with math. Even when I got into college, I struggled with math. Like, it's just something like I never got to pick up on. And I feel like nowadays people put a lot of pressure on people our age to like go to college and to like get a degree and like things like that, which what I think is actually like, because our generation is the way it is now, people think that we're lazy and like we don't want to succeed, and like, oh, like y'all, like we had the same opportunity as y'all had the same opportunity as us, like if we can do it, y'all can do it too. Actually, like that's not true, because our generation now has the worst mental health rate it's ever had. Like you can look it up, like that's a thing. And number two, like it's just hard for us to get started and be motivated when there's so much pressure, especially when a lot of girls and people our age are struggling with mental health.
It feels like now if you want to get a job, you have to know people.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like you can go get a job at this office and you just apply, you do the interview, boom, you have it. No, I feel like you have to be like a cousin or like a friend of somebody that works there, which sucks, but that's just how things are now.
Also, just like the thought of like being in college debt freaks me out. And I know it freaks other people out too. I went to college for 1 semester before I went to beauty school. And I probably owe $15,000 for 1 semester. 1 semester that I'm going to have.
I started out at community college though. And I will say I have no debt so far. I save up and I paid out of pocket every semester.
Right. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I had 3 scholarships and I still owe.
That's crazy.
$15,000 for that 1 semester. But that's my thing. Like, how are you supposed to start your life, be financially stable, and then have to like pay debt also? Especially with the profession that I was planning on going to, I'd be living off of teacher pay. And like nowadays, like unless you have 2 incomes, it's hard to live. You know what I mean? Mom always said, like, find you a good husband, like find you a man that has money, because if not, like you're gonna struggle. And I think that's sad that, you know, like not only do you have a lot of pressure to like get a degree and like try to do your best, like make a lot of money, now you have to think about like finding someone, so you're like not by yourself.
Well,
in it,
another thing that sucks is like when you do find that someone, you just feel like you have to depend on them all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that.
Me either. Like, I want to be independent. Like, not independent.
You want to be independent within your relationship to where you're paying, you know, like, I don't want anybody to ever have to pay my car note. Like, that's mine.
Right.
And I don't want anybody to ever just be like, you know, I pay your car note, so, you know, this is my car type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I never want that.
Also, if some guy tells you that, that's not the right
I have
guy
an
for
amazing
you,
boyfriend. He would never tell me that. But that's just, you know, like, when my mom taught me, she was like, you know, you can have a boyfriend, you can have a husband, but he's not your, like, he's your provider, but don't treat him as your provider 24/7, because you have to be independent within the relationship.
Yeah. I think Yeah, there's just a lot of pressure that goes into like growing up, especially people like
Mhm.
our age. And like I see people say like I'm 30 years old and I still don't got it figured out. You know what I mean? Like, does anyone ever have it really figured out at the end of the day? Even like when you're older, like
Honestly, I feel like things just kind of work themselves out sometimes too.
yeah,
You have to put some effort in there,
mm-hmm.
but you're not going to make everything perfect by yourself. You just kind of have to trust the process sometimes and let things fall into place.
Yeah, true. But also another topic, like, what if we want to have kids one day? Like, what is growing up? Is growing up going to be the same for them as it was for us, or is it going to be worse? Because
Because of all the technology and
yeah.
everything.
Like, is it going to be worse? Like, how is it going to be? Like, our mental health like rate for this generation is already pretty bad. Is it going to stoop lower? Or is it going to get better? You know what I mean?
From what I've seen, with these younger kids on TikTok and Instagram, the standards that they're setting. I was scrolling through TikTok the other day, and this girl popped up, and she was wearing like the crop top,
Yes.
like her chest was pushed up,
Right.
everything, like mini skirt, and I was like, she has to be like in her 20s. She was 15. And I was
That
like,
is
can you
crazy.
imagine like just growing up? Because kind of we did too, because we grew up in the influencer era
I know.
where you're just looking at people and you're just like, why don't I look like this?
I know, exactly. I see little girls now that are like 13, 11, 12 doing all this harsh skincare.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need
I was
skincare.
using Neutrogena.
Yeah, you don't need skincare. You
When I
are
was
you are
that
11.
young.
There's no reason for you to put retinol on your face. You're going to
No.
be destroying your skin. They're wearing crop tops. They want to do all these different things. Like when I was that age, I wasn't allowed to do that. But that's because also this is important, like for our generation to set the standard. Those little girls are doing that because they see people our age. That's trending. But when we were younger and we were that age, that wasn't trending. You know what I mean? Like stuff like we were following.
There would be like every now and then there would be a girl on Vine or Musically
Yeah.
that would do that, but it wasn't just like a huge thing. Even
Yeah.
like the hot girls, if you look back on them now,
It was just like
it's goofy.
it is goofy. It was like a lot of bold makeup, like the eyebrows, like
and even they look back. I see some of the girls that I
Yeah.
used to follow on Musically, and they would do that, and they look back on it now, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, like I look crazy."
yes, like it literally looks crazy. But it's just like I feel like we just have all this pressure, like
Mhm.
set the standard, get a good job, like all that stuff like goes into like growing up in Gen Z, and it like kind of gives people like our age, like it makes them feel hopeless, where a lot of people just don't even want to try. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's not from laziness, that's just not feeling a sense of purpose. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I feel like a lot of people our age are like, what is my purpose? You know? But I just hope that everybody could just like keep faith in like God and everything and just like let it flow, because there are some times where I feel that way. And like I just have to take a step back and I'm like, okay, like look where I am, like I have a roof over my head, I have a car, even though my AC is broken, like at least I could drive around a car. You know what I mean? Like at least I'm like, people are like, oh, like hospitality, like that's not college, like so what? At least like I'm doing something, and at least it makes me happy, and like
Right.
you know, like if it makes me happy, it makes me feel like, okay, like this is what I'm meant to do, this does give me purpose. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
it's like do what you enjoy. You don't always have to go to a university, or you don't always have to like, and if you want to go to a university, like do it, you know what I mean? But
Even if you start late. I started 2 years late.
yeah,
I just started this year, and I mean, it's been the best decision of my life, but I didn't want to do it at first.
yeah,
I just didn't know like where my life was going, what I wanted to do. Like I said, I always knew I wanted to be in TV. I wanted to work in news, but I never knew what was possible for me. And I feel like you really have to have those people behind you,
right,
that need to, you need to have somebody pushing you.
exactly.
And sometimes you have to push yourself. You can't always have that person behind you pushing you because they're not always going to be there,
Yeah, exactly.
which is a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, like you're gonna have to like want it for yourself.
But
Like,
exactly.
like you know, like for me and Maya, like growing up, like in high school, middle school, elementary school, like
We always had the same dreams.
yeah,
We
did.
never switched up.
We did.
And if we switched up, it was because we were doubting ourselves.
Right. Like, I even say, like, maybe if I finish cosmetology school, like, I'll go back for teaching. You know what I mean? Like, like I don't have to have everything right now. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, like, want so many things right now. Like, I want to be in my career. I need to get a new car. Like, I need to do this. I want to move out. Like, slow down. Take a step back. Look at, like, we're still young. Like, 20 is still so young. Like, 21, like there's so much time.
We were just teenagers.
Yeah. And, like, we were teenagers. We were in middle school. And we had all these dreams. And, like, we were stressed out. But, like, at least we are who we are now. You know what I mean? So.
When was it when you found out, like, hey, like, this, like, when you found purpose in life? When do you think you found that? Like, even if it was just, like, you know, just, like, going to church or something.
Well, I got baptized when I was 13. So, but obviously, like, I'm still so young right there. And, like, I still had struggles, like, leading to where I am now. So, like, I would want to say that's when, but, like, that wouldn't be true. You know what I mean? I don't think my relationship with, like, God really got good until, like, around 17, 18. Like, that's where I started, like actually enjoying go to church. Like, I loved worshiping and, like, stuff like that. And I really got into it. But when I found purpose was just, like, do you ever scroll on TikTok at night and, like, Bible verses will come up? And, like, it, like, kind of tells you, like, exactly what you need to hear, right? And so, I forgot which Bible verse it was, but it was just one that, like I just, like, needed to breathe or, like, put trust in God or whatever. And, like, I feel like ever since that moment, like, that's just been my mindset. Like, okay, like, take a step back, like, breathe, like, just put trust in Him, like, stop going so fast, like, be patient. You know what I mean? Like, so that's just kind of, like, what I try to lean towards. But what about you? Like,
well, you know.
I know.
So, I had just gotten out of, like, a really bad friend group situation.
Oh.
And, you know.
Like, insert fart noise.
insert stinky noise.
Literally.
Yeah, and I'd just gotten really depressed. And I wouldn't leave my room. Like, I didn't find any purpose in life.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom would just, like, call Cameron. Because me and Cameron, we hadn't reconnected yet. Because we kind of, like, didn't fall off in high school. We just kind of went our separate ways.
Yeah.
And she'd call Cameron. And I feel like that was a godsend because she was like, this was your best friend, like, your whole life. Like, y'all need to reconnect. Like, you know, just start hanging out again. And so I got really depressed. I wouldn't leave my room. I didn't see any point in life. I didn't, you know, even want to be here. And I started hanging out with another best friend of mine. And she started inviting me to church and everything. So I started going. And I had grown up kind of in church. It just wasn't, like, we just weren't, like, super, like, going to church all the time and everything. I grew up in a Christian family. But I started going to church. I decided I wanted to be a youth leader. And I started doing that. We had, like, a little youth camp for a week, and I was a little counselor for that.
Period.
And that week was the week that I was like, oh, like, this is, like, so, like, I feel like I have life again.
Yeah.
And so I decided to get baptized at the end of that week.
I know that was, like, what, a year ago maybe?
It was over a year ago.
Yeah.
It was I just started working at the news station. And right before right whenever I started being a youth leader, I met another girl with the same name as me. And I just remember my mom would always be like, there's this other girl in the news and her name is Maya. And I'd be like, okay.
Okay, like, I'm Maya.
But then we met. We were both youth leaders.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've always wanted in news. Like, that's my dream. And she was like, hey, apply for the production assistant job. So then I started being a production assistant and then eventually got promoted to digital news on our website and everything. And now I do that and report. But ever since that moment, like, when I got dunked in the water, it was just, like, a new life. Like, even if I fall off a little bit, which I really try not to do, but I have been lately because I work weekends. I can't go to church on Sundays. But I don't feel that it's like a darkness.
Yeah.
I want to say, like, it just, like, takes over.
Right.
And that's what I want to say to, like, a bunch of people that don't understand depression. They're like, you need to just, do this, do that. No, like, you don't understand. Like, it takes over. And it was just something, like, I'd never felt before when I got baptized, and I accepted it.
Yes. I remember, like, I still remember vividly when I got baptized. Like, you can feel it. Like, as soon as you come out of the water, like, I just felt tingles. Like, I really did feel it. And I wish I could get baptized again because, like, I was younger.
You can.
I know. I want to. Like, I plan to.
Well, because I had gotten baptized when I was, like, 9, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, like,
Right.
just, I didn't know what was going on. And I was just living my 9-year-old life.
Yes.
And then did it again. Was I 19? Yeah, I was 19. So this was 2 years ago. That's crazy.
Period. Like, I want to do it
crazy.
all. I want to do it all over again.
It was not
Your story was so much better than mine. Like, I found purpose when, like, I got depressed. No, mine was just like I just found purpose, like, just taking a breath and trying.
I had always had this cloud over my head though of depression. Because, like I said earlier, like, my mom had gotten sick. I was always told that she was not going to make it and stuff.
Right.
And there's just always just been this anxiety and depression in me, like, she's going to get sick again.
Yeah.
And I've never gotten rid of that, and I haven't felt that since I've accepted. I don't have fear like I used to. Like, I don't fear death.
Right.
Like, like, there's more for me, and I know that he's going to have my back no matter what.
I just feel like most of my anxiety just is, it's really my own insecurity. Does that make sense? Like, I'm in my head all the time. I'm like, what if I'm not good enough?
Yeah.
Like, I have all that trauma from when I was bullied. Like, what if nobody likes me? Like, you know what I mean? So, like, when people meet me, like, people would think, like, oh my God, she's, like, such a social butterfly. You know what I mean? Like, she really is good at talking and, like, meeting people. But, like, that's, like, such a snippet of what people, like, what I really am. Like, on the inside, I'm probably like, who are these people? I gotta keep smiling. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, so, like, a lot of my anxiety, it's just, like, it's within myself. And my purpose, like, me not feeling a sense of purpose at one time was my own fault, I feel like. You know what I mean? Because I let myself get like that. Does that make sense?
Well, I always say it's, like, a spirit creeping in, like, not a good one.
Right.
And that's when you just need to, like, pray and be like, like, I rebuke this because this isn't from God.
Right.
He wouldn't let me feel like this.
Yeah, exactly.
He wouldn't give me these feelings of, like, insecurity, being down on myself.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be able to identify those feelings too. And it's not always easy. You're not going to identify it right away.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do, like, need professional help.
Yes.
I believe in that so much.
Yes.
And so many people don't, and I'm just like, it's okay to go to a therapist.
Especially men. Men, go see a therapist
men's
sometime.
mental health.
Men's mental health matters because I've seen on TikTok also, like, and online, like, like, men are, like, actually embarrassed to go to therapy. Like, why?
Me and my therapist are best friends.
Yes. Like, literally go. Like, it's fine. Like, I've never been to therapy, but I've heard good things about it. Yeah. Men, go to therapy. like your mental health.
It's like, it's not that bad. You just sit and talk to somebody.
I know. I feel
That's
like,
it.
Do you ever cry?
In therapy?
Yeah.
No, I never really unpack what I should.
What is the point of this? Like, yeah, I'll go seek help. But, like,
she's always...
but, like, I don't ever say what I really need to say. Like, what?
Because sometimes when you're sitting there, you're just like, I don't know this girl.
Dude, what's the point of... Okay, I guess therapy, you don't need therapy. I guess it really doesn't help. Like, what?
No, because, like, if they give... This sounds terrible. If they give you, like, the medication that you need, that helps.
Not the... So, yeah, just go for the medication. No, my...
Don't listen to me.
Don't listen, Maya. Maya doesn't know what she's talking about. Goodbye.
I'm going to lead y'all astray.
If I was listening, I'm so sorry. We really, like, try to, like, actually be helpful, and you just like
I just went off a cliff right there.
you did. I'm so sorry about that.
Cause like I don't know her like that.
But I feel like that would make it better. Like I wouldn't want to talk to somebody that I know because like I would feel like I don't know, you know me. So
That's
you know
the
how
thing
I
though,
am.
like, okay, this is one bad thing about me, is that I don't unload anything on anybody.
You do me.
I hold it in.
You do me.
If we ever get to talk,
Yeah.
she never answers my calls.
Did I not answer today? Because I did.
Because you knew we had to be here.
Well, first of all, let me just clarify. Okay.
I know what you're about to
Me
say.
and her schedules are completely different. Completely different. I have school in the mornings, and then I go to freaking work sometimes. Her, she sometimes works at night. Sometimes she works in the morning.
So my shift is usually at 5 a.m. I'm the only morning reporter.
Well, there are some nights that you're there at night, though, and they call you in. But
Yeah.
there are a lot of times that I've tried to make plans with you, and you can't because you're working.
Yeah. That's one flaw about me, is that I throw myself into work. Like,
She does.
I don't socialize or anything. And that's like, and I love it, but that's like a flaw that I have.
Yeah.
Because I don't give myself a break.
Also, people, you work for yourself. You don't work for other people. You know, do you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, work for yourself. Don't work for other people. I feel like that saying right there will get you through a lot in life, for your mental health, at least. Like,
Yeah.
just keep that in mind, Maya.
Okay.
Work for yourself, not for other people.
I will say that I love my job. It's leading me to my overall end goal.
Yeah,
It's like one of the biggest blessings in my life. I will say that.
that's so nice.
I know. And I get to work with my boyfriend, so that's pretty fun. We got to anchor together through the night.
I'm
Okay,
sorry. If I
this
worked
is-
with my boyfriend, it would be World War III. I would not be able to do that.
No, okay, so my boss comes in the other day and she's like, hey, you're going to co-anchor with Nick. And I was like, yay. Because co-anchoring, yay, fun. But he is so nitpicky.
Mm-mm.
He will tell you, this is how you pronounce this word. And I love you, but like, because I know he's going to watch this. But it is so annoying. And I told him before the show, I was like, don't do that to me. And he didn't, so it was fun. We were fine.
We were fine.
We were fine.
We were fine.
We didn't get in a fight.
Well, that's good that you and your coworker don't get in a fight.
My coworker. I will say though, like all of my best friends, she's gonna get jealous when I say this. All of my best friends are from work too. Like besties in and out of work.
I guess I'm just not a bestie.
Come work with me.
No.
It's because we're together all the time.
Understandable, because, you know, Ainsley, we go to school together and we
Yeah.
work together. She's become one of my best friends, too. So,
Mhm.
I know you and Sarah, my other friend, they get jealous. They get jealous.
I know you get jealous of me because we just like have you know when you get different
Yes.
friend groups and you're like, you just like get jealous and you're
Yes, you're like,
mm.
okay, like, that was my best friend first. Like, what?
She was my friend
She was
first.
my friend first, literally. But at least we like.
I like Ainsley though, so I'll give her a pass.
I haven't met any of yours, but
You're
at least
meeting them
I am
tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, but not tomorrow as in film time tomorrow, but like.
It'll be like
Yeah.
I don't know when this is gonna get
Yeah.
edited
But-
and put out, but
but
but it'll get out.
it'll get out. Maybe next podcast we could talk about how I met her friends. But at least we don't like hold it against each other. Don't like have any bad blood. Like
No,
even if
for
we
sure.
don't speak to each other
It's
for
like-
2 weeks, like
There's something about those friends that you meet early on in life, and really not even that early on in life, because I have two best friends like that. It's you,
Right.
and I'm not gonna say names, but it sounds like my name.
yeah.
You don't talk for a while. It could be like a month at a time that we don't talk, but we're just like, we have a bond and we're like sisters. So
Right.
it's no different than these newer friends that we have that we also have created bonds
Mhm.
with. You know, talking to them every day, we just pick up right where we left off.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And that's
Yeah.
us. That is me and her, for sure. But
What's something that's like you've just stressed about lately? Because I know that's one of the things we wanted to cover, you know, just things that have been stressing us out lately, just in life, maybe relationships.
Well, my relationship is good so far. We've been together for 2.5 years, so I'm not really stressing about that. But, yes, actually, maybe a little bit, but not like
He
relationship.
stresses me out too. Her
Like,
boyfriend
okay.
stresses me out.
So, like, my boyfriend already is in his career, right?
Yeah.
I'm still in school. So I guess what like I'm stressed about is like, oh, he already has it going for him. Like he already knows what he's doing. Like
Mhm.
obviously I know what I'm doing, but I'm not there yet because I haven't graduated school. So like he's in his career, I'm still in school. I'm stressing about money. Like I want to start our lives already, and it's just like I can't because I'm still in school.
Mhm.
And even after I finish school, like I have to build clientele. So it's gonna take me a second to really fully get into my career, and
Mhm.
it just sucks because he's fully in it already, and I want us to just be there already. But like I said,
It takes time.
It takes time.
God's time.
God's time. I'm 21. Like I have time. I just need to like breathe through it and just like keep
Well,
going.
Me and Nick were talking about that the other night. I was just sitting there and I was like, isn't it crazy how like we weren't just like seeking each other.
Right.
It was just very random. We were coworkers. I don't recommend dating your coworkers. We have a great relationship, but it doesn't always work out.
Don't do it.
And we just hit 1 year, but it was random. We were just working together and stuff. And I was like, isn't it crazy how like I wasn't even thinking about you or anybody else, and then all of a sudden it just poof happens. Like it's
Yeah.
all God's time. Like
yeah.
and we've been together for a year now, and everything's just great.
Period. So
It's
are you stressed about anything else though? Like, are
Okay,
you stressed about
kind of like you were just saying. I'm still in school. I'm working in my career, but I'm still in school
Right.
working towards getting that communications degree.
Right.
One thing that stresses me out is that I know you don't always stay in the same place with news, but I know I need to stay here
Yeah.
because I know this is where I'm starting. And
Right.
when you're starting out, you don't just automatically go to like these big cities where these big markets are and these big news stations. No, you start out small, like in West Monroe.
Yeah.
And one thing that really stresses me out is that I know that he could get picked up for another job and I'm still here.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to think about because he graduated, I want to say 3-4 years ago now. 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Because he's been in Monroe for 3 years. He's from Ohio.
Only in Ohio.
He's different. He's different, y'all.
He definitely is, and the way he talks makes me mad. But continue.
He's so proper when he talks.
He is so proper. But I think it's rubbing off on you too, though. Honestly,
You think so?
Yeah.
I think that's just like my news voice.
maybe.
Because like I watch these other news anchors, and I feel like I'm talking in my proper voice right now because I'm on camera. When a camera comes on, I get louder, and I get like I start talking more proper, and not so like country hick.
But
Like
make us
usual.
mad, and it's over with. Okay, the country accent is coming out
For sure. The lingo and all the terms.
Yes.
Mm.
Y'all should really hear her and her mama because
My mama is so country, y'all. My mama is from Delhi. It's funny because, like, her dad's family is from Mexico, and so she looks very Hispanic. And then you hear this accent come out, and most people aren't expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just funny.
It
'Cause
is funny.
some people, like, I have some friends from church, and they were like, when we met your mom, we thought she was going to start talking in a Spanish accent. And then she comes out talking like the Beverly Hillbillies. I didn't know what to say.
No, her mom does look very like ethnic. I mean, like even when I met Maya, like I thought Maya was like Mexican or her mom was Hispanic.
My mom is half, so I'm a quarter.
Yeah, but like I feel like I could tell still on you pretty good.
Yeah. The tan's fake, though. It's the Jergens Instant Sun.
Jergens Instant Sun, sponsor us. Anyways, let's wrap it up.
You ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right. Well, where are you at right now in your life?
School, work.
Are you happy with where you are?
I'm happy, but I'm impatient. Like I just like
Yeah.
like I said, like I want to hurry up.
Yeah.
I wanna I want to be there already, but like it takes time. That just comes with growing up, like we've been talking about. Are you happy?
I'm very happy. I'm working in my dream field. On camera talent, which is a dream come true. I'm in a great relationship. I've got all my friends. Everything is just great.
Period. Well, by the way, if we didn't mention, this is Gerald the alligator.
We did not agree on that name.
Okay, then what do you want it to be named?
His name is it a boy or a girl?
This definitely is giving me boy vibes.
Yeah, he's giving me boy vibes too.
So what is it, since you don't like Gerald? Gerald was pretty good. He looks like his name would be Gerald.
We can name him Gator.
Really? You're going to name it what it is?
I've heard of people.
Gerald's bad.
I've heard of people with that name though.
But he's literally a gator. Why would you name him?
Okay, name him Gerald then.
Okay, Gator Gerald.
Okay, Gator Gerald. That's
Gerald
his name.
Gator.
This is our friend Gator Gerald.
Gator Gerald. Well, thank y'all for watching our podcast. We hope you learned something about a little
For
insight,
sure.
of how it is.
I feel like this was more of an introduction podcast.
Yeah.
It's like just us talking about ourselves and y'all getting to know us.
Yeah.
How we grew up.
Yes.
You know, just growing up here in Northeast Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope to get into some more topics in the future.
Yes. Stay tuned because we have some funny ones coming up. Anyways, we want to thank Aintley Productions for sponsoring us and let us use their studio today for today's episode.
Yes, and if you want to start your own podcast, you can visit the link on your screen.
Yes, it'll be floating in the air somewhere.
Right here. Wait, right here.
Right here.
Jeremy Antley himself will put it there.
Yes. And I'm Cameron.
And I'm Maya.
And we are
The Gossip Girls!
I think that was good.
Yeah.
That was a good outro.